Now, all your coverage. Newsline 9 at 10. Your trusted resource.
It was dark and it was twirling like crazy.
The truck flipped over.
We didn't know if we were going to make it or not.
A wild night of weather across much of north central Wisconsin.
Lincoln County, one of the hardest hit areas.
We were completely wiped out.
A family waits out the storm in their basement as the walls cave in.
We got a lot of nice antique furniture.
We have team coverage tonight on the destruction. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Melissa Langbaden.
And I'm Brian Groff. It has been 5 hours of watching and waiting as tornadoes move through this area, leaving a trail of damage behind. Tony Schumacher begins our coverage tonight with the latest on what's happening out there right now. Tony?
Well, I tell you what, looking at the data, think there may have been up to 5 tornadoes in our viewing area. One started off around Augusta and East Eau Claire County about 4 o'clock. Then a couple of reports of touchdowns between Little Chicago, Hamburg up through Merrill. Another one in northern Langlade County near Summit Lake in Bavaria. A third or fourth tornado may have fallen from about Toma over towards Nacita and Arkdale and Cottonville. And then a fifth one reported over towards the Fremont area. And of course, this could get adjusted based on what the National Weather Service does with their surveys. Things have quieted down, just some wind out there now, but the storms are done. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Extensive damage, of course. Homes lifted off of their foundations and scattered across the street.
An entire street covered in tree branches and insulation. Newsline 9's Bonnie Shelton was on the scene after a tornado ripped through Merrill, and she joins us now live with reaction.
I talked with homeowners who say they barely made it to their basement before the tornado ripped through their homes and ripped them to pieces. It lasted just seconds, but the nightmare is just beginning. Take a listen to these firsthand accounts.
We were just running downstairs, and we just got down there, and everything was gone. And when the doors and the paneling started hitting us in the head, we didn't know if we were going to make it or not. We looked up, and you could see the blue sky. The roof of the house, or the floor and everything, it took off. Just one roar and it was over with. It took about a minute maybe.
I was over at my dad's, and his house is back there, and I saw it just getting ripped apart. The truck flipped over, trees flying over on my dad's truck. How we knew it was coming because we saw another person's house like up in the air. It sounded like it was hissing.
We don't know what we're gonna do. I gotta see what I can all find yet, you know, because we're completely wiped out, everything.
Multiple homes adjacent to Dawn's were also destroyed. It was amazing to see neighbors, friends, and family members coming together, sifting through the wreckage and helping each other. Back to you.
That's the good part of the story. Of course, so many people working together, trying to work through this, but so much damage does remain to be found even yet at this hour. So we are going to continue our coverage right now in Lincoln County.
And when that storm blew in, it did some damage to Northern Wire and the NTC buildings in that community. News on 9's Anna Carrera joins us now live with what's happening there.
That's right, Brian and Melissa, I'm here live in Merrill, right around the corner from Northern Wire. The police have blocked off the street so we can't get any closer than we already are. But I did talk with the general manager of the company and police who confirmed that the 4 workers who were there at the time are all safe. No injuries have been reported there, and police also say that they haven't heard of any injuries anywhere around here so far. Police say that there has been substantial damage to a lot of buildings around here. Let's take a look at some video from earlier today. There was a lot of trees down across the streets. Trees were knocked down, damage to buildings, shingles ripped off, just a lot of buildings totally damaged there. We saw neighbors out, just like Bonnie reported, surveying the damage, checking on each other. Now, the power is out here in this neighborhood and across other places around town. The only lights out here coming from our truck and from the police cars over there. Police are advising that people stay where they are at this point. They don't want people out scouting around since there isn't any electricity. They advise people to stay wherever you are. If there is somewhere, if you can't stay in your homes, they say that you can come to fire station number 1, or if you know anyone who needs somewhere to stay, that's where they can go. They're working with the Red Cross to try to coordinate those efforts. And the general manager at Northern Wire says that for right now, no workers need to come to work until they assess the damage, which they plan on doing tomorrow. And we did talk with one of the people around here who said that there has also been some damage to the airport here around the corner. Live here in Merrill, I'm Anna Carrera. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Anna, for that report. One person just north of Merrill says he saw the storm pass through as he was driving on Highway 51. He says he pulled over and saw a funnel cloud, and he says it all started with a line of clouds.
A bunch of small little funnels started coming down from it, almost like a dripping down from the clouds. Then all of a sudden, the wind just started to turn, and all of a sudden the clouds started to drop.
At this point, we would like to let you know that a shelter is being opened at the American Inn on Highway 64 in Merrill. Also, the Merrill Public Schools will be closed tomorrow.
A lot of people just coming to terms with the damage there, and the winds have destroyed a barn. This took place in Little Chicago. It happened on County Highway F. Luckily, no one was hurt, and the only animal inside the barn, a potbelly pig, avoided the debris. The barn's owner says he couldn't believe how quickly the damage happened.
Well, it just happened like in matters of seconds, you know. It just started blowing, and the rain was like sheets of rain, and we saw a little tree broke down, and then the rain was all over with, and then I looked out the back and saw the barn was completely down. So
WPS did disconnect all electricity to the lines surrounding that barn.
We also checked in with former Channel 9 weatherman Sean Cronin, who witnessed some of the damage near the Lincoln-Marathon County line. Take a listen to what he saw.
The damage is on F, and the damage is pretty good. The forest has been wiped out down here, and there's trees and power lines down. Big pine trees snapped in half. We got the roof ripped off one house. We've got the barn totally damaged. We've got a tree right through the back end of another house, and it's open up. They're going to get rain in there now. So, there's other damage further up the road that we can't get to from where we are, just because there's too many trees and power lines.
That was former TV9 meteorologist Sean Cronin. Now, there are more than 6,000 people without power around the area. The most of those people are in the Merrill area. Wisconsin Public Service reports 5,400 do not have electricity. 440 people are without power in the Wausau area, 178 in Anago, and another 150 in Rhinelander. Wisconsin Public Service is asking that people do stay away from those power lines. A spokesperson stresses that there are also a number of gas leaks in the area, and you should stay away from those as well.
Of course, a lot of crews are working to get power back up and running. It is going to be a very long night, and you should use caution if you are in any of those communities that have been so hard hit this evening.
And Tony and Justin, we're following the storm. We're going to check back in with Tony with the latest.
Well, you know, the good news is the severe thunderstorms have moved out of the area. The bad news is it's still going to be breezy and windy tonight and tomorrow, and we're going to see a couple more showers roll through, but just kind of a nuisance more than anything hazardous. There's the live view looking north on Skycam 9, and I want to show you this now. The history of this line of storms that developed right over western Wisconsin around 3 o'clock this afternoon. We did expect this, of course. We had that warm, humid, unseasonably summer-like air move in today with a strong cold front and low pressure coming by. Lots of wind energy in the atmosphere. A perfect setup for tornadoes, high winds. We had quite a few reports of 1 to 2 inch diameter hail, even one report of tennis ball size hail over towards far western Wisconsin earlier today. Now, here's a look at live Storm Track 9 radar. I want to show you this. We're still under a flood watch for the counties in green from Lincoln County down to Wood and Portage County. We have had some localized flooding, small streams and ditches from some of the heavy rain and snow melt, so please be very careful if you're out traveling. And here's a viewer photo sent in from Lincoln County capturing one of the funnels from William James. I believe that was along Highway K and 51, but I'll try to get you more on that later. I'll have much more on the weather in a couple minutes. Back to you.
We are, of course, seeing some pretty amazing pictures and video that's been coming in from all over north central Wisconsin.
And we invite you to add to our storm coverage. You can see extended storm coverage from you, the viewers. Head to our Facebook page, and as always, you can email your photos to news@waow.com. Some amazing pictures have been sent in this evening.
Yeah, it's incredible to take a look at some of that.
Now, your Storm Track 9 forecast with meteorologist Tony Schumacher.
Well, here we are looking at another photo of some of the damage. This in Lincoln County, I believe along Highway K, sent in by William James. You can see how the trees and the buildings are kind of mangled, so thank goodness everybody seems to have made it out too unscathed as far as personal injury, but a lot of damage, of course. Here's what it looked like around Wausau early this evening as some of these storm clouds are rolling through. Luckily, the heart of these storms actually missed most of the larger cities in our area. Wausau, Marshfield, Wisconsin Rapids, Stevens Point mostly got missed by this tornadic activity. You're looking at a view of some of the thunder showers across the area there, moved by Friday. Might even see a little rain-snow mix Friday night into Saturday, then some sun returns by Sunday. Stay with us, much more after this.
Welcome back. We continue the coverage now on our big story, the wicked weather that has moved through our area earlier this evening.
So right now we're going to go back to one of the hardest hit areas where Newsline 9's Anna Carrera is standing by live in Merrill. Anna.
That's right, Brian, Melissa. You can hear behind me some people are already taking a stab outside at some of the trees that have already fallen. I'm right around the corner here from the Northern Wire building where I talked with the general manager and police. They confirmed that there were 4 workers in there at the time, but that none of them were injured. They were all able to survive the storm safely. Police say that they can confirm that there were also no other injuries reported so far at this time, but substantial damage done to buildings, a lot of trees knocked down, a lot of buildings that had their shingles ripped off and other things just totally destroyed. We saw neighbors out here earlier talking amongst each other, trying to figure out where everything stands, checking on their homes and the damage that was done to it. Power is out now to the neighborhoods around here. The only lights you can see that are on are from our truck and from the police cars over there. But police advise people to stay where they are at this time in your house. If there are people in the area that you know of, or if you need somewhere to stay, they say you can go to Firehouse number 1 here in Merrill. They're working with the Red Cross to make sure that everyone has a safe place to stay for the night and in the coming days. The general manager at Northern Wire says that until they can confirm that everything is safe there, that workers should not come to work until they assess all the damage there, and they will let you know at that time. Live here in Merrill, I'm Anna Carrera. Back to you.
Thanks, Anna. Of course, it's not just businesses that were affected. A lot of homes were literally picked up off their foundations and then smashed to bits. People in Merrill, of course, trying to pick up the pieces after a tornado, an apparent tornado, ripped through that area.
News on 9's Bonnie Shelton was on the scene, and she spoke with homeowners devastated by their losses, and she's now live in the newsroom with more. Bonnie?
It was an incredible scene. Homes demolished, people picking through wreckage, feet from where their homes used to stand. Don Coplin and his family barely had time to get to their basement before the apparent tornado ripped through their home. He said the doors flew in, and then all he could see above him was blue sky. Across the street, debris lines a river. The tornado also damaged a natural gas plant, but a leak was soon contained. People say they heard hissing, loud sucking sounds as the tornado ripped through. It lasted about a minute and then eerie silence. Now, there was an amazing display of cooperation and compassion at the site just off Highway 51 on County Road K. No reports of injuries where I was, which is amazing considering the condition of those homes. Back to you.
For the update there, Bonnie. Homes were damaged in Gleason tonight as well. The family in a church, when that storm hit, a large tree fell in the front of their yard. Here's some of the damage to the family's shed and the power lines that were also taken down by the high winds.
As well, going where we're supposed to be, and we come home and the house is saved and everything that's important is still here.
That is true. Wow, you could really hear the wind blowing there, and family members were flagging down cars, stopping them from hitting the damage. No injuries, fortunately, were reported at this home.
And with all that damage, there are more than 6,000 people without power around the area, more than 6,000 in the whole area, the majority of those people in the Merrill community. Wisconsin Public Service reports 5,400 do not have electricity. 440 people are without power in Wausau. In Anago, it's 178 and another 150 in Rhinelander. Wisconsin Public Service is asking that people stay away from those power lines. A spokesperson stresses that there are also a number of gas leaks in the area, and you should stay away from those lines as well.
Well, the line of strong storms has now pushed out of Wisconsin, just a little bit left over towards Manitowoc, but that's moving away. Still a couple of light showers that are going to sneak in from Minnesota overnight, but probably only 1/10 of an inch, especially in the north, so that shouldn't be too much more of a major influence on any flooding, but the water that we got today still has to run into the rivers, so watch your travel conditions on some of those low-lying roads. It'll be windy tomorrow with temperatures up to 53, a lot more chilly than today, and a couple of showers in the morning. So glad this thing is over, but a lot of damage cleanup to do, and we wish everybody luck with that.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
we do. Yeah, and throughout the evening, a lot of people on Facebook at the WAOW page and sending in their pictures and making a lot of comments about what they've seen throughout the evening.
It has been an incredible evening, and we appreciate your joining us tonight, and hopefully tomorrow will be much quieter than what today was.
And join us on Wake Up Wisconsin tomorrow morning. Justin Lowe will be in, and we'll get the latest on storm damage and cleanup and take a look at your pictures, and that's how we'll leave you tonight.